That reminds me, you owe me $2.85 because I bought you water today. I was saying this Manhattan premium New York water, $2.85.
It's super expensive.
So you can Zelle me that. In fact, if anybody wants to pay for that water on AdventFit.com/support,
yeah,
you
can definitely do that.
You can donate so we can afford water in Manhattan.
It's hot out here.
AdventFit is a podcast that has a holistic approach to physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. In each episode, we share productive ways to live a healthier and happier lifestyle. Unlike other podcasts in this space, AdventFit gives you a comprehensive approach to fitness without the fluff for the everyday Christian. I see you wearing a shirt with Cookie Monster.
I got this at the Comic-Con. It's a great shirt for AdventFit.
So you went to Comic-Con where it's all about like Marvel, DC, and you got Sesame Street.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I saw Marvel and DC, but I got Sesame Street.
I see. Yeah. Well, Sesame Street is on HBO now. You know,
it is on HBO.
It's hardcore stuff right now.
It's on HBO.
You don't walk the streets of Sesame Street now.
Never.
So cookie. Me want cookie. I like that. Well, we're gonna be doing portion control today. I know Cookie Monster doesn't know anything about portion control. Not at all. He just eats it all. But when we deal with portion control, when we're talking about portion control when it comes to health, well, how do we like maintain it? How do we control it? The amount of food that people eat has gone out of control. It's skyrocketed.
Yeah, when you're not counting your calories, you can underestimate how many calories you're actually eating.
Exactly. In fact, in just a couple of decades, people's amount of food they were eating, the portions, steadily increased up to 700%.
It's not surprising. And sometimes you don't even eat because you're hungry. You eat because you're craving. You just want something to eat, especially if you're watching a TV show. To not eat is like a travesty.
Yeah. And sometimes people eat because they're stressed.
Oh, I did that. I'm trying to stop that, but I did that a lot. I did stress eating. I did happy eating. I did all kinds of eating. I did eating for any emotion. I just ate. The best way to limit your portions is to plan on one day of the week. So plan when you have a day off and you plan for that week. And you have different containers and you put your food for that week in different containers. Sometimes people don't want to eat the same thing. So I guess you can freeze some and have different things for different days. But count the calories and plan it for the week. Well,
they talk about how do you figure out your portion sizes?
Or how do you figure out your portion sizes?
Yeah, like I know if one, some stuff I was watching online and reading, they were talking about like using your hand. It was a good way. If you didn't want to go and use measuring cups and stuff like that, well, maybe just use like your hand, like or like your fist to show like what is a good serving size for you.
Okay. But they have apps now, which it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, well, for me personally, I looked at it as like, well, I want to get like 2 cups of fruit. So I'm like, all right, well, does this fruit, this apple look like the size of my...
That's good.
Like, does this cup of mango like look like it's the size of my fist? Does this apple look like the size of my fist?
You take the mayonnaise out. This is good enough. Put this on the burger.
Nah. So, well, a lot of times people get confused between portion size and serving size. And there is a difference.
Oh, yeah, serving size, definitely. It's much less than you actually think it is.
Yeah, because portion is how much food you choose to eat at one time. The portion is relative. You know, what's a portion for you will be a different portion for me. But serving size is always the same amount depending upon the food manufacturer and how they want to list it on their nutritional facts.
And we said this in a previous episode.
Yeah. But
manufacturers are allowed 20% leeway in either direction with their calories. So you can't trust it.
Exactly. So all the nutritional value you see on the label are the serving size that the manufacturer suggests on the package. And so while you might think that one plate of food may be one portion, but it could actually be maybe even 4 servings. So you got to be mindful of your serving size is different when you're trying to calculate your calories and all that stuff.
Even in bottles, like a bottle can have 3 or 4 serving sizes.
Exactly. So I mentioned earlier about how like the portion sizes have just increased up to 700%. And some examples of just growth just recently would be like for just like the last number of years would be like the bagel. There used to be the bagel used to be 3 inches in diameter, but now it's 6 inches.
I mean, it's good for some. That's good for me.
You want more food?
For real.
Or a cheeseburger, which was 4.5 ounces, now it's 8 ounces. 5 cups of popcorn, now it's 11 cups when you try to get a medium-sized popcorn at the movies. And soda, 6.5 ounces, now it's up to 20 ounces. So things are just getting bigger. You go to 7-Eleven, you want the big gulp, right?
Yeah.
So everything is just getting bigger. So one of the strategies they talk about in terms of controlling the amount of food you're gonna eat at a meal would be to drink more water.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to implement. I already drink a lot of water. It's hard to drink it while at school because I have to use the bathroom. I have to leave the kids. So you can't really do that. But outside of school, I try to drink as much water as possible. And that lessens your hunger.
That reminds me, you owe me $2.85 because I bought you water today. I'm saying this Manhattan Premium New York water, $2.85.
It's super expensive.
So you can sell me that. In fact, if anybody wants to pay for that water on AdventFit.com/support,
you can definitely do that.
You can donate so we can afford water in Manhattan.
It's hot out here.
So when it comes to drinking water, you might want to try to drink water maybe 30 minutes before you start eating. Sometimes I drink water during my meal, but a lot of people suggest if you don't like to mix your water with your meal, then drink it 30 minutes before.
But I do it all the time. It doesn't matter for me.
You're drinking all day long, basically. Because if you're trying to get the amount of water you need, which is about 2 liters for somebody who wants a 2,000 calorie a day, then you're going to need to be drinking a lot
and
throughout
even
the day.
Before you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So
Exactly.
you should be constantly drinking water.
Again, you can measure out your food. Whether you're measuring out your food by just kind of estimating based on the size of your hand, or you can actually use like serving size cups. So when I'm doing let's say nuts or seeds, I like to specifically use like serving cups.
Oh yeah.
I like to be more specific with that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fruits, which isn't as high as in calories and stuff like that, I just estimate it.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing a smoothie where it's super scientific. I'm doing the measuring of the water, measuring of how much fruit brings the water level up, how much protein powder, raw protein powder I'm throwing in there. So measuring sizes helps you with your portion control. And I remember you mentioned about like setting up like one day of the week to prepare for the rest.
Yeah.
I remember doing that. I got these containers that were 2 cups each. And so that
2 cups containers?
Yep. 2 cup containers. So basically I didn't have to measure it. I just put food in there. And once it was full, it was full. And so I knew that I had different meals that were worth 2 cups.
Did you freeze some, or you just had them for the week?
Well, no, that was I would prepare for the day.
Okay.
That was how I did it.
Okay.
I did it in the morning, so I prepared all my meals for the day, and so I just put it in a lunch bag. I felt like I was back in school, but I had a lunch bag. I tried to put an ice pack in there, keep it cool, and then when I was ready to eat it, take out my container, take it out, eat it, and I was able to know that I was keeping my portions under control. Another way you can control the amount of food you're eating is with your plate. If you know that you have a tendency to put too much on your plate, then maybe get smaller plates.
That works. Or you can just eat healthier foods. I don't like to just eat less. Like I like to eat better quality and more quantity.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about now portion control, not just with the quantity of the portions, but you're talking about the quality of the portions.
Yes.
Controlling the quality of your portions.
If the quality of your portions are better, you can eat more quantity in your portions.
That's true. And that's something I like to do a lot.
Or if you just eat whatever, you can get a smaller plate. But it's your decision.
Yeah. And then another thing they talk about is...
But then sometimes you just might get toops and refill the smaller plate. And then
multiple times.
And then you lose your purpose.
Because when you go to a buffet, you get one plate... And I feel like I'm getting ripped off. Like, this is three plate minimum right now.
Yeah.
But no, you want to make sure that you're if you have a tendency to eat everything on your plate, maybe put less on your plate or have a smaller plate, or try some sort of strategy like that. But some people, they eat straight from the container. They have like a bag of snacks. They're eating straight from the bag of snacks.
And that is dangerous. Very dangerous. Like you will not stop. It's hard to stop.
Because for me, if I have snacks in my house, I'm gonna eat all of it.
Yeah.
So what they say is take exactly the exact amount that you want to eat for that meal out of the container and put the rest away. Because if it's not in front of you, there's less tendency to eat it.
Another thing that helps me is a food curfew time. So after that certain time, I don't eat anymore, and that helps me with portion control as well. Because I'm not eating all the time. I have a certain time when I stop eating, and then even if I want to crave something else, I know it's past that time, so I'm not gonna eat it anymore.
I like that. Yeah, no, for sure. That's a good way to control the timing of your eating, so therefore you don't eat as much. Because if you're having now 5 meals a day, and all 5 meals are equivalent of somebody's 3 meals, but now you just multiplied it and it is more.
But I guess I'm talking about every single topic, so it's not talking about portion control, but it's close to portion control.
But it helps with your portion control.
It does.
It helps you to have less portions.
Yes.
Or have less opportunities to add to your portions.
Exactly.
And things like that. So that's something that would help us in our life, because it's not only about what you eat, but it's the amount of food that you're eating. Because we got to practice temperance when we're dealing with health. And so right now, again, you guys can continue to follow us and check out some of our previous episodes. We talk a lot today about calories, and we talked even a little bit about protein, just a little bit. But you can check out some of these things by going to either our YouTube or our iTunes or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I should say.
We don't have iTunes. We don't have iTunes.
I don't believe in Macs anyway.
Maybe in the future.
I focus on the Spotify part.
The AdventFit album. But yeah.
Where we drop in beats about food.
Beats.
We're not Sesame Street.
Push control.
So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, the easiest thing to do is just go to AdventFit.org.
Yes.
And if you want to follow us personally, you could check me out on WayneJamel.com.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Woke. That's WHOKE.
So that's right. And my name is Wayne Jamel.
And my name is C. Jeffrey White. And the C is for control. Control your portion. And we'll see you next week, folks.
If you enjoyed this episode, why don't you click the like button?
And the notification bell.
Ding!
And if you really liked it, please share this episode with someone close to you.
But before you do that, subscribe to AdventFit.
Exactly.